Hello, and welcome to the Simp to Pimp podcast. I am your host, Max, and with me is a special guest, Cameron.
Nice to meet you. Anybody listening, watching?
Yep. Cameron is a good friend of mine that I've met over the past year or so now.
That's a year or so.
Been about a
we've
year.
met now.
Yep. He is a streamer.
Yeah.
He is an accomplished streamer. He actually just did a tournament yesterday. If you want to talk about that.
Oh yeah. So I stream on Twitch, OG underscore Scrax SKRAXX. In case anybody's interested, I mainly stream a lot of RPGs. I think the main game I stream is Kingdom Hearts though. So I do a lot of speed runs, challenge runs, stuff like that. And then specifically what we did last night was rando. In case anybody doesn't know what rando is, it's basically all of the items and everything in the game is randomized, and you just pop into a seed and find certain items to beat the game, and then you just go as fast as you can. We had a little tournament last night for charity. Actually, it's a big charity thing going on for the whole situation with Russia and Ukraine and such. But a guy was able to. He's been planning it out for a while, but he was able to get together, I think, 70 people total, and it was
participating, like playing.
Yeah, like fully participate. Last night in the actual qualifier, I think we only had like 45 people ish, and then it was I think some people can participate a little bit before, a little bit after. They can't make the actual qualifier, so total was about 70, but it was pretty good. I mean, we had a huge turnout. I think he made about two plus grand for charity last night just in the qualifier, and that's only day one. So even more to come with that. And so if anybody's interested, please do go check that out. It's for his channel, if you don't mind me.
Yeah.
His channel is Roro Maniac 8. Please do go check that out because it's a huge thing for charity. Would like to spread the word on that. But other than that, it was really fun. I got ended up pulling out sixth place last night, which is crazy. I mean, it was about 27 minutes was my time. The fastest guy was about 22 minutes, which is even crazier. Usually don't get a lot of seeds like that. Usually they're about an hour to an hour and a half, but we call them shotgun seeds, which is basically just like you get somewhere, just go, go, go. You find the items and you're in there and out in less than like 30 minutes.
And you complete the entire game.
Yeah, you could basically the entire game, but the main thing is just the final fights.
Yeah,
of
the game. You do the final fights. Yeah. Okay.
So, but it was good. I mean, like I said, we raised a lot of money just last night, and there's still more to come as far as actual like tournament bracket and stuff like that. But I did fully qualify for that. So, if anybody's interested in that, please go check it out. But other than that, I mean, I do stream other things. I know we we just did a little bit of Hogwarts Legacy recently.
Mm-hmm.
That was really fun.
How is that game? I still haven't played it yet.
Dude, it's fucking amazing.
Everybody's saying it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan anyway, so that's obviously a little biased towards that. But as far as the actual like combat and exploration of the game, it's a lot better than most people would think that it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of whole controversy with the game.
Yeah, there is.
But regardless of all that shit, it's actually a really fun game. I do recommend anybody to try it. It's pretty fun.
It seems like, like a Grand Theft Auto, maybe a Red Dead Redemption, but in the Hogwarts world.
Yeah, I would actually pretty relatively relate to like stuff like Red Dead and stuff because it's fully open world, and there's side quests, there's main quests, there's like RPG elements that you can do. You curate your own character and stuff, and you can customize them however you want and stuff. Obviously, Red Dead has its own like main character story and stuff.
Right.
It's a fully immersive open world RPG kind of thing in the Harry Potter universe. It's the Harry Potter game every Harry Potter fan has been waiting since they were 7 years old.
That's
whatever.
Awesome. Can you play other people in it?
You can't actually. That is one side thing about that. I know a lot of people were actually complaining about when the game was first coming out. But regardless, it's still a huge game. I know like a lot of people do want multiplayer though. It would be fun if you could have multiplayer.
Yeah, but that's probably super complicated.
Oh yeah, I mean you got to think on the development side. I mean it would take them, probably another year to develop something like that, especially they had to get the quirks down to it.
I mean, it'll probably be like an add-on or something.
It would have to be like a DLC or something like that, or just like a free update if they wanted to do something like that.
That'd be cool.
It would be.
Some other things that you are really good at, unless you wanted to keep. I was gonna say you're in the Army. You're also.
I was in the Army, not currently. Well, I guess technically currently I'm in the Army. I wish we could talk about that. I guess So I was in the Army for a bit. It was about 3.5 years ish. I enlisted right after high school because I was very patriotic.
Okay.
Wanted to serve my country and stuff. Ended up not really liking how things were in there, so I finished my contract and got out. I'm technically still under contract. I put it in air quotes because like I don't do anything for the military. But if we were to go into like World War III right now, they could call me back.
Oh.
It's a thing where because the way that it works is when you sign up, you have to serve like I said air quotes a minimum of 8 years. But like active duty is just depends on your contract, however long you sign up. But basically the way it works, however long you sign up for active duty, once you're done with that, the rest of that time, so it's, I think 5 years for me if I do the math, I'm under inactive reserves. Is basically what it's called.
So you're because it's 8 years, you have like technically it's there, but you signed up like 3 years ago.
It was back in 2017.
2017, actually.
Yeah. So
okay, so 6 years.
I got out in the year of 2020, towards the end of the year. So now we're coming up almost 3 years since I got out, which is crazy to think about actually, because I spent so much of my life, early life in there. But basically, year 2025, then I will. Yeah, it is getting a little hot.
Yeah, it's getting a little hot. We're gonna put
But yeah, year 2025 will be like fully off contract. They can't call me back no matter what. But I mean, even with like inactive reserves, it's inactive for a reason. They're only going to call you back if they literally need the troops for anything serious.
I mean, if something like that were to go down, like the World War III, I mean, Russia's kind of picking up steam right now with Ukraine.
It is, and I mean, to be honest, like speaking from a personal standpoint, it has worried me a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably the most serious thing that's happened in a long time. I don't think anything will ever come up unless Russia and us get to like an actual like a one-on-one kind of thing because of it. But with the current situation of it, I don't think anything that serious will come up with it. But it's definitely probably the more serious thing that's happened since.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's on everybody's radar. It's been on everybody's radar for a long time.
For a while. I mean, just going back to the Twitch thing earlier, like
yeah,
the whole charity thing that the charity tournament that I did, it's for the Ukraine situation. Like we raised like over $2,000 to help out Ukraine. So
I'm gonna put your name and probably that guy's name in the description for this video.
Sounds good.
But just for clarity, you were you're like Scrax?
Yeah, Scrax. Yeah, OG_Scrax. I'll give you the information after if you want me to.
And the guy's name was like Rom or something?
It was Roro Maniac.
Yeah. And what was the tournament name?
It was Fresh Faces for Rando.
Fresh Faces for Rando. Okay.
It was basically a way to get a whole bunch of new people and a whole bunch of experienced people like all together. It was huge.
Damn.
Yeah, man. But now the military was crazy, man. I mean, like I said, I joined in 2017, right out of high school. I graduated, and I think I early enlisted actually. And I know I did. I was just remembering. But I early enlisted in December of 2016, and then I fully enlisted when I got out of high school and stuff went off. I was a combat engineer. If anybody knows much, also you're not on.
Okay. Oh shoot. We're fine.
But I was a combat engineer. If anybody is interested in that, so 12 Bravo. Basically, what we do is kind of like breach enemy. If they have like obstacles and stuff like that, we breach those. If we create obstacles to keep the enemies from getting to us, and then a whole bunch of other like small stuff.
In a firefight or like in a campaign, you would be creating the obstacles.
Basically, I mean that's a big point of what we do. But like, I guess the easiest way to dumb it down is we're infantry but with explosives. If that makes any sense.
Damn.
We do a lot of the same stuff that infantry does, but we also integrate, like I said, the obstacle situation. We're taking down obstacles or creating new ones. That's like one of my favorite ones that I like was it's called a shape and crater charge. It's probably one of the biggest explosives I've ever seen. But basically, the way you do is you have a shape charge, which is just like a big cone, and you prime that from the top, and the cone's at the bottom, and it just blows like I want to say 3-4 foot hole in the ground. To weaken the ground, basically. And then what you do with that is you place the crater charge in the hole that you just made with the shape charge, prime that up, blow that off, and it creates like a 15-foot hole.
Oh my god!
In the ground,
and that's like that's like pretty fast.
Oh yeah, like you're trained to do it fast at least. Yeah. I don't know exactly how fast you can do it. It really just depends on how many people you have, what kind of stuff you have on you at the time. But I mean, it still takes a bit to set up. But regardless, it's a huge explosion. Like it's made to prevent tanks. from going across the road.
Holy shit.
Because they won't. I mean, tanks are good with like climbing a whole bunch of stuff, but basically it'll make them like just get stuck in that hole if they try to do it.
Wow. Yeah, 15 feet is pretty.
It's huge,
substantial.
Yeah. It's probably like a 15 by 15 too.
Yeah.
So
oh my god.
It's
15
huge.
feet down. That's funny.
That was huge. I mean, even in it was fun in basic training. I got to blow that up too. Like, yeah, it was. Yeah, not everybody gets chosen, obviously, to do that. I was just lucky enough to do it, but it was the first one I ever got to see.
Damn.
So that was really fun. I think the only other big. This is a funny story. So I said the only other bigger explosion I saw was it was my first demo range when I actually got in like out of basic training at my duty station. We were going to a demo range, and like the armory. I can't remember exactly what they were called. I think they had an actual like term for what they were called for the like actual explosive stuff. But basically, the people that give us all the ammo, explosive, anything that we need for a demo range or a range period, they gave us a whole bunch of extra C4. I mean, like by the time we got done with all our training stuff for the day, we had like 150 blocks of C4. And for information, a block of C4 is about like I'd say about that long, about that wide, and then about that thick. So about an inch thick, I would say. And you have about 150 of those. And at the end of it, this staff sergeant that was running it at the time, he was like, listen, it's a bit more of a bitch to turn it in than it is to just blow it up. So if they're going to give it to me, we're going to blow it up.
Oh, man.
And he wanted to tape all 150 blocks into one block.
one huge
cube of explosion. But the lieutenant on duty at the time, she was like, no, we're not. That's too much of a safety hazard. We can do 3 separate blocks of 50. So that's what we ended up doing, and that was probably the biggest explosion I've ever seen, because we placed each
like
block.
Bricks.
Yeah, I mean it's just like a big cube at that point. The way you tape it up, there's about 50 in each one, and then we just blew them all up at the same time, but like obviously separated apart though. It was so big. So like you have a demo shelter that you sit in, obviously, when you do stuff like that for anything debris that happens to come.
Right.
But it's a good like quarter to half a mile away from the explosion. It's pretty far. I'd say about a quarter mile. I don't know, about a half a mile. Maybe somewhere in between. But it's a good while away. And that explosion sent debris so far it landed right in front of the shelter.
No way.
It landed right in front of us.
Oh my god! It's like in the middle of the desert too.
Well, I don't know about the desert, but it's a big open area. Yeah.
Huge
where I wasn't a desert. It depends on where you're stationed.
Damn.
Yeah. I was stationed out in Kentucky, actually, Fort Campbell. If anybody is curious.
Cool.
A lot of trees and stuff out there. So.
Damn. So one of the things that people get out of the military is, and I kind of noticed this in college, is this brotherhood sense. This sense
100%.
of like you like have a newfound respect for everybody you're working with.
I probably made some of the closest friends when I was in the military than I have ever made in my life.
Yeah.
And that's simply due to the fact that like you're getting close to these guys because you want to be able to take care of them like they're your family when you're out there in the middle of the shit, you know?
Oh yeah, man.
Like you're supposed to care for them. I mean, obviously you still have people that you don't like. It's gonna happen. It's a workplace. Any workplace, you're gonna have people you like and people you don't like. But the people that you do like and the people that you create those bonds with, it's insane how like crazy close that you get with these guys.
Yeah, I feel like having that is such a developmental part of like being like of the human experience of being a man. Just like you have to care about things, especially like
I fully agree.
Your family and protecting like loved ones, people you care about, and then like going into a fight or like preparing yourself to get.
I think it's just good as a human being to have something that you care about enough to fight for in life. You know. I mean, if you don't have anything like that to, I guess, protect or like, if you don't have a purpose, I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're just by yourself, not really doing anything. It's kind of like lonely, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, and I think there is a lot of people struggling with that.
It is, and I feel bad for those people, but there is people that
but
deal with that.
The thing is, you got to find it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's
not easy either, but it definitely is something that a lot of people struggle with, and some people are very antisocial. Some people don't like hanging out with people, but I'm personally on the opposite end of that spectrum, where I like to have those close bonds. I like to get to know the people that I'm with and stuff.
I like that too. I think it makes work go by faster. I think it makes just like your purpose seem more grounded. It
even makes like some of the shittier aspects of like what you're dealing with just a little bit less because you have those people to deal with it with. I mean, I still talk to a lot of those guys to this day. I think like I said, I've been out for like almost 3 years now, and I still talk to them. Yeah. Still try to keep up with them when I can.
You brought them to your wedding or anything like that?
I invited a lot of them. They weren't able to make it because it's kind of like a. Oh yeah, we didn't even mention that. I got married last year.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
And you're 23.
I'm 23 years old. About to be 24 in May.
Oh man, dude.
So no
Just
kids,
married man.
just
Yeah.
a married man. We do have a cat. I think that's considered a child to a lot of pet owners. He's about as wild as a toddler, so I think that's crazy. Dude, he's fucking. Oh my god, he's a pain in my ass. I mean, I love him. He's a good pet and all, but a lot of times he's a cat. He messes things up. So like his thing right now is he likes to just his water bowl. He'll just scoop it out and just dump water on the ground, and then
my god,
I have to clean it up, or like my wife has to clean it up or so. And it was.
On the carpet, or it's.
Oh, we moved it to hardwood floor, but it was on the carpet for a while because
Oh,
we knew that like if he's gonna continue this,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I got married last year, so I mean I did invite some of them to the wedding. They weren't able to make it. It was kind of like I mean we planned the wedding in like 4 months because it was just a hectic time, and it was I think my sister-in-law was also getting married the same year, so
wow.
it was like 2 weddings had to be planned under the same kind of same parents.
Yeah.
So it was pretty hectic. It was kind of last minute for a lot of things, but I still talk to them. I mean, I still try to keep up with them. Not everybody's still in. A lot of people are still in. So, I mean, it just.
What are they saying about it? Are they worried about the war at all, or are they worried about?
Some people are. I mean, a lot of people are like. I mean, even me. It's like if push comes to shove, yeah, I'll go back. Try to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I signed up to fight for the country. I mean, I definitely honor that if I need to. But I think the biggest thing is we all still complain about how the military is right now. It's just such a, and I don't want to get too into it publicly, I guess, but it's such a unorganized organization nowadays. It's, depending on where you go, I've heard there's a lot of different places. I think my my company battalion brigade I was in, just personally wasn't that good. Yeah. Just a bunch of leadership that was more concerned about themselves and their own progression than they were about the people that were under them, which is, in my opinion, is the worst trait that you can have as a leader in the military. I mean,
oh my god, yeah.
Probably the biggest thing that you should be about is the people that are under you. I mean, you're supposed to lead those people and take care of them as if shit hits the fan.
Exactly.
But a lot of people are just not about that anymore. It's more about like the politics of it, I guess you could say. People are just more concerned about their own own progression. And that's why I got out personally. It just wasn't for me about that. I mean, there was a good 3 or 4 months in there. I remember it. It was back, I think it was like 2018, where I was under a great leader, had great teammates, great team leads, everything. Everybody was great. Everybody did their job. Nobody was a dick. Nobody was selfish or anything like that. And I was like, if my entire Army career could be like this, I would re-enlist every single time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that only lasted, like I said, about 4 months. But yeah, it's definitely a hectic situation now. It's not for everybody. I highly recommend if anybody's interested in joining the military, definitely see for yourself. Don't take anybody's experience for yourself because everybody has a different experience. It depends on where you go, who you're under, what job you are. I mean, it really just depends on everything that you pick, and that's a big factor into it. I mean, I picked a combat job, so that's obviously a stressful job in itself.
Oh yeah.
But it just depends. I definitely recommend anybody to try it. But just speaking from a perspective, that is a lot. It seems to be a lot of it.
I would say also, just piggybacking off of that, the government in general kind of has this leadership issue right now where they're just kind of I was working with Raytheon. They subcontract with the government for military things, military like equipment. Radios was specifically what I was doing, but Raytheon's more of the rocket side, and Lockheed and all these. They have like there's so much wasted, just time, wasted energy, wasted money being used like by like the leaders because they just don't care about how they just want more money. They want to convince other parts of the government to give them more money instead of just trying to create an efficient system. And they like that's just universally.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of the government right now. It seems to be a lot of the world right now, to be honest. I mean, even our own work aspect right now, something a lot smaller scale, it still just seems to be like that. I mean, it's like, I mean, I get it. It's the world, people are going to be like that, but it seems to be just a whole bunch of,
it's sad to see, man.
People that just don't care about anybody, I guess
it just makes you, makes you don't want to work. You don't want to work
Exactly. Yeah,
for it.
it's a huge motivation killer. I mean, personally for me, whenever I have a place where I know that it's a good place, leadership actually cares about you. There's actually a chance for a good work-life progression or whatever you want to call it. Then yeah, it makes you want to work harder. When morale's up, it makes you want to work harder. But when it's down and they just don't give a crap about it going up, then you don't work as hard. It's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes into who you surround yourself with. Like that. Even you should take that part of work and everything and like project that into your life and be like, okay, I don't want that to happen in my own personal life. Like I don't want me not caring about everything and not liking people and just trying to backstab people or do all this crazy shit in your own personal life. You're reaping what you're sowing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get what you want in the short term, I guess, but in the long run, I really think that you don't benefit overall.
No.
And it's kind of like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about, that 32-hour work week thing that's been going on.
I've heard. I think that's a book or something, right?
Well, no, it's a test. I think I can't remember exactly. It was over, I think, in Europe. It was not over here in the States. But it was a test they did where for a while, I don't remember how long, but it was for a good while. They did a 32-hour work week, which is where you instead of a 40-hour work week like we have now, you do 32 hours. Basically, have an extra that third day off of the week. And not only was morale boosted, but also production was boosted. Oh, so even though you have 8 hours less in the week, production was still boosted because people were happier and people were working harder. And it's funny that you have actual math go and like experiments going into stuff like that to show the proof that it works. That if you get morale up, work does increase. But then people are just like, no, look at the math of it. 40 hours, 8 less hours. No, you're not as productive.
It's almost more about control at this point, then.
I think so, yeah.
Than how people are like.
Oh, dude, power is a dangerous thing. Like when a lot of people don't know how to handle power. Like they don't know how to understand what you're supposed to do with it and how you're supposed to handle it because they just like they take their position that they have and they just abuse it 100% all the time.
That's so sad, man. It's like this envious thing. Somebody sees somebody else had some sort of power, and they're like, "Oh, well, if I had that power, I would just run havoc." And then they get it, and they by doing all this manipulation, all this lying to finally get in that seat, and they get backstabbed immediately. You can look through history, and they do the same thing.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah,
that's why I was saying, like, in a world of a whole bunch of backstabbers and selfish people, nobody wins. I mean, this is how it is. Everybody's only out for themselves, so nobody really wins.
No. That's why finding honest people that are true to their word or men that, like, they say something and they do it, it's very valuable. Very valuable skill, man. Yeah, I thought I'd mention that. One of the things that really we did was I did one of your bachelor parties because it was so fast.
Oh, yeah, if we were going to talk about that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we mentioned earlier I got married last year, so obviously I knew a lot of these guys and stuff. So I'm actually from North Carolina, and so have you said where you're at? I don't want to say where you're.
I'm from Florida.
Okay, yeah. I didn't want to say that out loud. I don't know how much you.
No, I think they know that. Yeah, they know that.
But so live in Florida now. I moved down here because I was getting married actually to be with my wife, but because she's doing school and stuff.
Oh, down here.
So she's going to be an ultrasound technician. So when she's done with that, I'm about to be a stay-at-home husband, because she's gonna make good money. No, but so I got to know a lot of these people when I came down here, but obviously I don't have a lot of people that I know from back home. I was born and raised in North Carolina all my life. I mean, I was 18 years, went to the military for a couple of years, came home for a little bit, and then came to Florida. So most of my life has been in North Carolina. So, but I didn't really have much time to do a bachelor party. And then there was a First Friday thing going on, and Max here was like, "Oh, we should do a bachelor party." I think he threw it out as a joke, really, to be honest. But then I was like, "Why not?" And then he was like, "Well, let's get it together then." And it just started from there. I mean, I think about 2 months prior to me getting married, that was when that got brought up. And then over like the next month, it was kind of like talk. Nothing really serious happened. And then at one point, it was kind of like, "Okay, we're doing this." And I was like, "Yeah, we're doing this." So this man got an Airbnb, and then we had how many people do you think? I'm trying to count them in my head.
Oh my gosh!
It was me, you, Chuck, Dave,
Waleed, Jimmy, Zach, Marcel.
Okay. It was a lot of people. I think at least the first night, it was like at least 10, 11, 12 people.
There was
like
at least 12 people, I want to say, or 10 people.
Yeah. Oh, and then we got the Airbnb for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
So it was.
And then Michael Morgan.
It was about 4 or 5 of us actually stayed the actual weekend. Pitched in for the Airbnb and stuff because some other people came out the next day. But it was fun. I mean, we met up at this Airbnb. We was like right by the beach in St. Pete.
Mm-hmm.
So we like pregame everything that we usually do. Played some Smash Bros in the. That was really fun too. Just drinking, playing some Smash Bros, Mario Kart stuff, and then it was time to head out.
Yeah. Oh, we had the boxing gloves too.
Oh my god, I forgot about the boxing gloves. That was fun too.
Oh man,
I still got that video of us boxing too.
Oh jeez,
that was fucking. We were drunk as hell, and we were boxing.
That was fun. And they made a circle.
It was like a circle around us. I think who'd you box before me?
It was Chuck.
Okay, so you boxed Chuck, and then you boxed me like right after. I don't know what was wrong with this man doing 2 matches right back to back. It was crazy. Alcohol was fueling through his blood at the moment.
Oh my god.
It was through all of this.
I was staying alive.
but it was fun. I mean, if you look at the video, you can tell we're hammered.
Oh, yeah.
We're not properly boxing at all whatsoever.
No.
We're just.
You got a good knock on me though. I think in one of the videos.
You did on me too. I remember it.
Yeah, it was fun though. That was fun.
It was super fun. I think the night in St. Pete was probably the best part though.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Just bar hopping. I think we went to Parks and Rec first. Is what I want to say we went.
Yeah.
Is that where we went?
Yeah, because we wanted to dance. That's right.
Yeah.
We were dancing at
Parks and Rec. Because I break dance. If anybody knows, I'm not like a pro by any means. I mean, I know what I'm doing, but I don't know how to do anything super super crazy. But I can move a little bit. So I was like, and I like to dance. So I was like, well, let's go dancing. I was a little bit buzzed and stuff at the time, so we went out and I think at one point we had like a circle around like our entire group.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it wasn't like just like
everybody. We were basically the life of that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just me by any means. I mean, it was like, I went in like I was spinning on the floor or whatever, and then like I would hop out and like throw you in, and then you would hop out and throw Dave in or something, and it was. Everybody just doing something. It was just a good time, man. We had like a whole circle, which is our entire group.
Jumping in.
Yeah, other people started jumping in too.
And then we did the conga line.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the conga line. I don't think that worked out very well.
Yeah, that one wasn't the best. But
that's funny. So I'll say that because I recommended the conga line because I've only ever done 2 conga lines at a club before. It's not the best idea on paper, but the only other time I've done it, I was hanging out at a bar with one of my buddies from the military when I was in there. Mm-hmm. And one of my buddies was like, it was just me, him, and another dude. So there was only 3 of us, even less people than we had. And my buddy was like, "Oh, we should do a conga line, man. We're all drunk. We're like, we should do a conga line." I'm like, "No, that's dumb. That's not gonna work." He's like, "Just try it." I'm like, "You know what? What's the worst that could happen?" So we get in this conga line, just us 3. We're going like all the way around the dance floor, and then I'm in front, so I don't know anything that's behind me. And so we get, I think, about halfway or full around the dance floor one time. And I'm like, okay, this is dumb. Nobody's here. But I turn around and we have like a line wrapped around halfway the dance floor.
Man.
And I was like, oh shit. So I hopped back in. So I was like, we should do that again. It didn't work out the second time. It didn't work out there.
That's what happens when you are the first one though. You don't even know.
You don't even know if it's going to work out. You just got to go for it, I guess. That's what a lot of things like that end up though. But it was fun. We bar hopped a little bit more. I think one thing that was funny was we were outside of was it Saigon? I think the cigar place.
Yeah.
Down there.
Okay. Yeah.
We were outside there, and then some guys. This is just a funny story. I'll never forget. It was just hilarious. But these guys, like, we were random people talking to us and stuff. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm here for my bachelor party." They were like, "You're getting fucking married?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting married." And so they were like, "Hold up, we're gonna buy you a shot. What do you like?" And I was like, "I like tequila. I fuck with tequila." And so they're like, "Okay, hold up a second." They leave, and it's been like 30 minutes. I haven't even heard. I was like, "Oh, they're bullshitting, whatever. Let them do their thing." They show up half an hour later with a shot of tequila, and then they're like, "Dude, we didn't forget about you, man." So I sit there with like 3 or 4 dudes and say, I mean, it's not the smartest option, of course. They could have done anything they wanted to that drink, of course. So,
but they did it.
Do as I say, not as I do. But it was fun. It was just crazy that they came back like that.
They give some good vibes there. There's good vibes, and then sometimes it's not so good vibes.
Mm-hmm. It just depends on the day to go. That was a good night, though. I mean, nobody got mad. Nobody got like into fights or anything like that. No bouncers were dicks.
Police, yeah.
No police. That's a big thing.
That was good.
And then the next day we were just hungover as shit. And then the Airbnb, the Airbnb had bikes. Remember that? So the Airbnb had bikes, and I did it twice. I did it with Max and I did it with Chuck. But the beach was like a 10-minute bike ride down the road. So we hopped on these bikes and biked all the way down to the beach. Then just like chilled on the beach for like half an hour, I would say. Did some like they had pull up bars and stuff down
that's
there.
right. Yeah.
But it was just a good little time, get some exercise and stuff, and sweat out the hangover.
Oh man, that's the healthiest way to do it. Most people don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They just suffer in their bed.
Yeah, no, dude, you just got to get up and just live your life.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, one thing I want to talk about though is the fucking Uber ride.
Oh,
do you remember
no.
that?
Yeah.
So
That night, that was the bad part.
no hate to Uber because, okay, you know what? Fuck it. Hate to Uber. I will never buy an Uber again. So because we left, and the way that we do it with our friend group, it's just kind of like one person gets the Uber to there and back or whatever, and you just kind of just switch off. Don't let the same person do it every time. It's kind of like a honor system type thing. You just kind of help each other out. Well, this time I was like, I'll get it. It's my bachelor party. Everybody's already been doing a whole bunch of stuff. I'll get the Uber back. I mean, it's a 5-minute ride. It's like a 20-minute, $20, not even like probably like $13 Uber.
Yeah, we were really close with the Airbnb.
Yeah, it was very close. Well, the Airbnb was very close to all the bars and stuff in St. Pete. So we get this Airbnb, go back, everything. Nothing happened. We just got in the car and then got to Airbnb and got out. Have enjoyed the rest of the night. I woke up the next morning to a $150 charge from Uber for a cleaning service.
Yeah.
And then
no
for
picture.
Anybody that's wondering, Uber customer service is probably the worst thing in the entire universe of customer service. It was literally the only thing that you could do was the app itself, and it was a bot. It was no like actual person. I tried, like a lot of times they'll have stuff like that, but if you look through it, you can find like a person that you can call or what. No, this one literally it was just a bot. You could not talk to anybody. So I was messaging. It was all day the first day. I was trying to get in contact with them. Took forever. Finally, someone got in contact, and then when I finally got them to give me a refund, because for instance, there was no cleaning service needed. Nobody puked in the car or anything inside the car.
We called everybody. We
texted everybody and was like, "Hey, did anybody do anything in the Uber that was with me last night?" And nobody said they did anything, so we knew. So this guy, whoever was running the Uber, just completely fucked us over. He's just like, people are drunk. He just charged
cleaning service.
Also, even if you look. So I'll segue into the next part of this. If you look in their cleaning service, like part of their terms of conditions or whatever, it's typically only a $20 charge. And somehow this dude had charged, like, I guess he said that he needed $150 to clean his car for whatever, some completely invisible mess that was made in that car. But so because of that, when I finally got the refund, they only refunded me $20
of the 150.
Of the 150.
You're kidding me.
I'm not joking.
Oh,
they only did $20, and so then I was fighting with them, and I remember I texted the bot again, and I was like, "Hey, they only refunded me 20. It was $150," and they were like, "Check," and it was like, "Check your thing. It has been refunded." But I was like, "No, it hasn't. Not the full amount." But I think it took all day, and then like half of that next day. So it took like 2 days basically of me fighting with Uber customer service, and they finally got me my $150 back.
Holy shit, man!
It was fine.
I remember you were fighting with it all day, and you're like
I mean, it kind of like killed the mood of the next day, because I was just in a shitty mood about that. I mean, I tried to still hung out and had a good time and stuff. Like, I think we played cardboard and stuff, and Mike came over.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That was
but fun. I mean, it was a good day. That just kind of soiled the whole thing, I mean, who wants a random 150 for no reason charge?
They didn't even have a picture.
No, I mean, it was no evidence shown or nothing like that. It was just the dude was able to just charge $150 for no reason,
and it went through, which is like just crazy.
It really is crazy. You know what probably sucks too? Is he probably still got to keep that 150. It was just from Uber itself. I got refunded, so he probably still got to keep it. He just knew how to work the system or whatever.
Fuck that guy. And then he just gave you like a full day of work to just get your texts and everything.
Dude, it was hell, dude, trying to fight with Uber. Uber customer service is horrible, if anybody is wondering. If you ever get something like that happen to you, just prepared to have a whole day or two to fight with them about that. Because, I mean, I would text them, and it would take like 45 minutes at best, or maybe a couple hours to get a response.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, why? It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I've been going to Lyft, or Lyft.
Yeah, Lyft, yeah.
Yeah. That one was, that one's been treating me kind of nice, because they got the 50-minute wait, and you save like $5 every time.
Really?
If you do like a little 15-minute wait.
Oh, that's pretty good. Especially if you're not like in a rush or anything.
Yeah. So we can call it Lyft when we go to Rugged Maniac.
Oh yeah, we should definitely do that.
Rugged Maniac.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We should talk about that. Yeah.
one thing that we're doing together
Mm-hmm.
as a little co-workers thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few of us, me, Chuck, and
Me,
Cam.
I think
we might get DG.
I know DG said he probably wasn't gonna be able to. He said it was gonna come to the last minute if he was gonna be able to do it or not.
Yeah.
No. Basically, it's a 5K mud run kind of Spartan race type thing. It's just super. It looked interesting. I found it
right here
and
locally.
Yeah, it's right here locally. It's in Tampa actually. So I found it, and I've always wanted to do one. So I asked all the guys around work. I was like, "Hey, you guys want to do this? It's cheap now. You know, go ahead and get your ticket. It gets a little expensive on the way to it, but
and you got the promo code, so
when I signed up, I got them a promo code, so I got them $5 off. So that was cool. It was supposed to get me $5 refunded. I haven't seen those $5 from these guys yet, but
maybe they'll give it to you when the day of.
Maybe. I'm not exactly sure how that works. It's $5. I don't really care. I paid either way. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like what 26 obstacles when we looked at it the other day.
Yeah, or 30, I thought.
Really? I can't remember how much. It was
crazy.
It was mid-20s to like 30. It was somewhere around
5K, there. So it's like, I mean, it's a couple miles.
It's like 3.1 miles.
3.1 miles.
Yeah.
They have like 26 obstacles.
I mean, you're gonna wait in line a little bit at some obstacles, not every single one. So you'll have a break per se, but you're still gonna be physically active the entire time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. I've been getting back in the gym. I know you guys have been trying to as well.
We're trying, yeah.
I've been mainly just trying to build my endurance back up. I mean, when I first started back, I was like, I've been out of the gym for like a while, so I was like, I run like half a mile and I was dead. Yeah, and now I can get to like 2, and I'm like still pretty good. So I'm pretty sure I'm good for a 5K.
Yeah, the 5Ks. That's about where it is. If you can run constantly for 2 miles, I'd say you're.
And it's not going to be that fast. You're going to pace yourself a little bit on the way too, especially trying to like keep with everybody and stuff. So it'll. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'll still be physically demanding. I mean, you got all the obstacles to go through. I think like only other big thing I've been working on is my grip strength, doing a whole bunch of pull-ups and stuff like that. I know
man.
Chuck's been talking about that a lot too.
The grip strength is very important.
It's very, especially a lot of the obstacles they have there.
A lot of those obstacles look like American Ninja Warrior.
Oh yeah, I mean it's crazy. It's not on that level of American Ninja Warrior, but it's definitely like early season 1 American Ninja Warrior is what it's like. Dude, you look at American Ninja Warrior now. Have you seen?
I haven't seen it recently.
Dude, you have got to look that up. Like some of the craziest things I've seen is like you have a bar and it's like a hook, and it's like 5 feet from you or whatever, and you're like on the hooks and you have to take the bar off and then fling it on the other hook. It's like stuff like that. You? Yeah, or like it's like a little like wood platform, or like basically something for you to grab onto, you know. And it's like that thick. It's like the inch of like the top of your finger, and you have to fling from those each one to another one and hold your grip strength. You gotta do it like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, dude, I would just splash in the water.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like I remember like seeing early season 1 American Ninja Warrior and thinking like, oh, I could do some of that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like just jumping across the platforms, like the hardest, the warped wall, you know, stuff like that. But now I'm like, I ain't getting past obstacle 1, man. This is insane. Because obviously people started to get good at all that stuff, so they had to make it harder every season, which makes sense. But like now anybody that has always wanted to get into it, it's okay. Well, now I'm screwed.
Yeah, now it's out of your league.
You ever tried one of those? I don't know if you've seen the obstacle that was the bar where it's like it's a pull-up bar, but it's got like little pegs, and you have to like fling up.
Salmon hook or something like that.
I can't remember. Yeah, but it's like 7 or 8 of the like little like. And
I saw that one.
You know what I'm talking about.
Like,
you have to like pull yourself up and then fling the bar to the next one and just climb this thing. Yeah, I tried to do that. Crazy. That's probably one of the harder ones. Like even like I mean that was in like early American Ninja Warrior, but like that is. I tried to do it one time and I fell. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, dude, I bet.
Trying to get the timing on that thing is so hard.
You have to. I mean, just the control you'd have to have, and then that's just that's like halfway through the through the
exactly, man.
Obstacle course.
It's a bunch of just endurance at that point. You just got to be able. I mean, you even see like these people will train for months building obstacles in their backyard and stuff like crazy, God, and then you'll see them and they'll be taking breaks in between obstacles because they're that exhausted. I mean, imagine somebody that hasn't trained that much for it. You're gonna fail on obstacle 2.
Oh my gosh, man.
It's crazy.
And then trying to compete on speed with those people too.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Because it is a speed thing too. To qualify for a lot of stuff, you have to get in a certain time.
That's insane, man.
But yeah, Rugged Maniac, it's coming up. I think it's like 2 weeks away now.
Oh my God, is it really? Yeah. No, we're in the same month now. Oh
we're
my
in the same
God.
month now. It's the 15th.
Yeah.
So I think it's 2 weeks.
13 days.
Yeah. Is it
Holy
today the
shit!
second? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yesterday was the first. That's right.
Yesterday was April
That's right. I
Fool's
was
Day.
thinking today it was April Fool's Day.
You getting any pranks? Did anybody
Oh,
prank
dude,
you?
like I didn't get any pranks, but like my Twitter was just
Oh,
full
screw that.
of people like just completely like one thing that I saw. So I don't know if anybody's ever. Oh, it's a pretty big game series, some people, but like, if anybody's into the God of War series,
Oh yeah, yeah,
the huge gaming series or whatever. But Santa Monica Studios, the people that run the game, they have a Twitter, and they posted on April 1st. They were like, "You've all been waiting for it. You've all been asking for it. Here's an HD collection of every single God of War game, from God of War 1 to the newest game or whatever." It was yesterday, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "That's a prank. It's
No
just April
way!
1st." And if you
Oh
go on their
man.
Twitter now, it's deleted because
Yeah.
it was an April Fool's prank.
Oh dude, that probably got so many people.
There was so much like just.
What was the
jokes.
one? There was some people. Oh, I saw the Sour Patch Kids one.
I
Sour
didn't
Patch
see
Kids
that
were
one.
like,
What was that one?
"Oh, we discontinued. We're sour, now we're sweet, now we're gone." And that's what they were saying. And I don't know who bought that one, but that one was funny.
Yeah, that's funny too. One thing I need to follow up with it because I don't know if it was real or not, to be honest. But it was a Naruto movie was announced on April 1st.
Oh my god!
And I was like, I don't know if that was real or not. It was say it was coming out in October of this year. I
Yeah,
have
you might
no
have to-
idea if that was real or not.
you might
But
have to
I
check
need to
that
follow up on that.
Yeah.
I know 'cause
Yeah.
I'm a huge Naruto fan. I'm literally wearing a Naruto hat right now. If anybody's watching, I'll show you. It's a Itachi hat, or whatever. But it's my favorite anime. So like when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, I need to follow up with it. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking about it now.
That is pretty. That would be pretty important.
It would be pretty cool.
Dude, those days, those April Fool's days now are like upside down worlds.
Dude, it's crazy.
And I always like. It's funny because recently, I mean, over the past 3 years, if you've been alive, it's always felt like an upside down world since COVID started and everything.
Yeah.
And
everything just changed after COVID, man.
Yeah.
It feels like COVID was the biggest April Fool's prank ever.
That was such
Except
an
it just
April
kept,
Fool's
it kept going.
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's just like, now you kind of look around and you're like, am I being pranked? Is this real life or is this just a prank?
Yeah. I made a joke about it. I was like, there's no sense in celebrating April Fool's Day since every day since I was born has been a joke.
Oh, damn. That's funny, man.
Oh, my God.
Well, Cam, I think we touched on most of the things that we wanted to talk about. Is there anything that you wanted to discuss? I have a few questions we can go over. I've been ending episodes with what do you expect out of a stranger? What do you expect out of a friend? And what do you expect out of your family?
Okay, that's a good one, actually. I like that. We can go over those. Strangers, just don't be a dick, man. I mean, there's no reason to be a dick to people that you don't know. I mean, I get like, oh, I don't know them. There's no reason for me not to take advantage.
No repercussions.
I'm like, there's no reason for you to be like that in life. You're not gonna get anything out of that except for selfish gain. That's not gonna amount to anything whatsoever. Just be nice to your stranger, man. I mean, be courteous. It could come back in the long run.
Oh, it always does. I feel like, yeah.
As far as a friend, I mean, like similar situation. Be nice to your friends. Be there for your friends. You know what I mean? If your friends genuinely, like, if you have that status, whatever you want to call it, those people, just I mean, own up to it. You know what I mean? If a friend needs help them out. Obviously, you're not going to be able to be there for everybody's calling back, but you know, I mean, just try to be. It's in the name. Be friendly. You know
yeah.
What I mean?
Oh yeah, man. That's
and
good.
I think if family is probably the biggest thing. Is be a good whatever role in your family is, if that makes any sense. I'm gonna be in my personal family. I won't get into it here, obviously, but it's a lot of bad things, you know, like just fathers not wanting to be father. My father's amazing, by the way. Let's get that out of the way. I'm just saying other people in my extended family, fathers not wanting to be fathers, and people just not wanting to own up to their family role and stuff. So like, just if you're gonna be a part of a family, and you're gonna, or even start one, maybe, just do it right. Don't do it for your own need. If we have a family, try to take care of one another. That is one of those things where you try to be there for one another as much as you can.
Oh yeah.
But one thing I also want to segue from that is family are still people. That's one thing you have to understand a lot. Definitely be there for your family. Family is family, and always try to be there for everyone. But family is still people. I definitely got people in my family that are not family anymore. If that makes any sense. I mean, you gotta understand that, like, yeah, I get their family, but they're still human beings, and some human beings are just shitty fucking people, and that's how it works. And you have to understand that it's okay to just cut that off at one point and be like, look, I'm not going to surround myself with this kind of
I've hit my limit
behavior. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't really matter if at that point if they're family, if they're blood, or anything like that. You have to be able to understand it. That at the end of the day, they're still a human being, and they can still be a horrible human being to you, regardless of if your family or not. And you have that right to cut that person out of your life.
Definitely, dude. That is a really good answer, man.
Yeah, man.
I really like.
I think a lot of people need to understand that, because I see a lot of like, oh, they're family. You can't turn your back on family, and to an extent that is perfectly right. Don't turn your back on family, at least at the first time. But like, sometimes people there's just no hope for them. Yeah. If they're gonna get fixed, it's gonna be on them. It's not gonna be on you or anybody around them. It's gonna be on them, and that's what you have to learn at that point. Going from that though, I'm actually curious. What's your answers for friend, stranger, and family?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I want to hear what you want to say about that.
I will say.
I feel like you ask a lot of the questions. Let's see what happens when people ask you the questions.
Turntables. Yeah. So, what I expect out of a stranger is honesty. Not honesty. I expect to like hear their side. I do want to hear what they have to say, and I expect them to hear what I have to say. So if you don't know me, but you have some sort of
like an open mind,
that
type of thing.
An open mind. That's kind of what I expect out of a stranger.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Even like I've never met you, but I will hear you out. Obviously, I'm being more distant, and I'm not gonna completely trust. So if you tell me, oh yeah, I need $100 to go feed my dog.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna, trust you, but I do want to hear what you have to say. And I expect them to do the same for me.
Yeah.
Out of a friend, I expect you to be honest with me behind my back and with me.
That's a good one.
I expect you to, tell me if we're gonna be friends, you're gonna have to tell me. You're gonna have to be completely honest with me, and I will be there for you. I'll hang out with you, and I'll answer questions if you want to look for advice, or if I need advice from you, I would like you to give me your best foot forward.
Oh, there's nothing worse than a snake friend, dude.
Yeah.
There's people that will be your friend in front of you, but then behind your back, they're just they're just completely bad mouthing you, or just fucking you over behind the back. It's just
the entire time. Yeah.
They're some of the worst people in life.
Yeah. You're not my friend after that.
No, not at all, dude.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be